Hey YouTube. Well, what's going on? First of all, it's very sunny and bright out today, and I just thought, well, while I have the good weather, I might as well fix this Jeep because it's long overdue and it needs a rear end. So we're gonna put one in it. And the reason why is because when you go around a corner, it's like every time. And that's because somebody had the bright idea to weld the gears together because they wanted positive traction. And that's the incorrect way to have positive traction. But I'm going to show you the process and we're going to walk through it together. So thanks for watching Overland Garage. So this is the rear end that I'm going to be putting in it, and yes, it's kind of ugly right now, but I've already gone ahead and changed the pinion seal in it, and my buddy was helping me change this stuff out and take it out, and he somehow ended up snapping all the bolts off for the drive shaft, so I had to get those out, but we had a good idea and we got those out. But anyways, they're both the same gear ratio. This one's an open differential, so it's not a locker. It probably will be a locker at some point, but I wanted to change it because I don't want her driving this thing an hour every day and then having the rear end blow up. But I will show you what we got going on with that one. So if you come back here, don't mind BP oil spill, but I've already got the rear end mostly out. I took the brakes off and I got most of the U-bolt stuff out and the shocks off. But yeah, so this is what we're working with, and I'm gonna pull the cover and show you what the guy did. It probably didn't hack job this rear end welding, but you really should never do that because why weld something when you can just buy the parts and do it the right way? I mean, I'm not against welding it if it was a trail rig only, but if you're gonna drive this every day, you should just do the right thing. So the next step is we're gonna finish unbolting and drop this right out of here. So I've already done a lot of the hard work. All I gotta do now is I'm gonna cut the U-bolts. I got one of them out, but you know, when all else fails, just go for the Sawzall and all the other tools that you shouldn't use to get that out of there. But so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out of there, and then we'll start putting the new one in. One, delete. And there it is. I ran into some difficulties. I got the rear end out, but I'm gonna have to go back to the parts store because the center bolt that holds the leaf spring pack all together just decided to doink, and that's gone. So I'll show you that real quick. So this is a center bolt, and this is a center bolt, but it's all supposed to be one, and this goes down through all these leaf spring packets, and it holds it all together, and it keeps it from moving around. So I gotta go get a new bolt and squish that back together and see if I can find one. I don't know, being a Jeep, and you know, it's the weekend and nobody wants to find parts, but we're gonna go take a gander and see what I can find. We're back, and this time I had to go with the Advanced Auto Parts flavor, but I got the bolts and we're gonna throw them in the leaf springs. Hey guys, so I just wanted to kind of show you what I got done here and talk about a couple of obstacles I ran into while I was throwing the rear end in. So take a look at this. So the rear end is in. I got the brand new U-bolts, and ended up having to put a new center pin in. Now the issue that I was talking about that I ran into is the center pin was a size too big, so I got 3/8 inch center pins, and the ones that are called for are like 1/4 inch. So I had to drill this spring steel, and that is the hardest steel there is to drill. And so I had to get three, not one, but 3 masonry drill bits with carbide tips. And I'll tell you why I did that, and that's because if you get a regular cobalt drill bit or a titanium or black oxidized, any of those, they're just not sharp enough and they're not rigid enough to handle that kind of abuse. And even if you go real slow and use oil, I mean, I tried on the other side and it took me like an hour just to get through 2 of these leaf springs. So what you want to do is make sure that you get the carbide tip masonry drill bit, and then they just go right through these like butter. But you don't want to drill new holes because you'll weaken the spring, but make sure that you go through the same hole and then you use a masonry drill bit. But I just kind of wanted to give you an update. The next thing I got to do is throw all the brakes back on so she can have this truck back. But she's almost done, and I wanted to just give you an update. So this is the rear end all put back together, and I'll pull this drum off real quick and show you what I did. But I just put the brakes back together, and I did notice that they had the wrong shoe in the wrong place. So this is how it works with a drum brake setup. When you have shoes like this, the leading shoe, this is the leading shoe, and this is the following shoe, or some people call it primary, secondary shoe, forward, backward shoe, whatever you want to say. Regardless, the leading shoe should be the thinner one, depending on the style of drum brakes. But in this situation, the thicker shoe should be on the back, because what happens with these brakes is when you step on the brakes, they don't just expand like that, they actually rotate. And the pressure from the cylinder, wheel cylinder, pushes the pads out and at an angle like this. So that's why the thicker shoe goes on the back and then the narrower shoe on the front. So they had this all reversed, but I just wanted to show you that the rear end is all in, the brakes are all on. I just got to go run to the store and get some bolts, but that's going to do it for this project. And the next video you'll see. So that's going to do it for this episode of Fixing Junk. But if you like this content, please hit that like button, and while you're at it, you might as well subscribe. And if I missed anything or you need me to explain something better, don't be afraid to throw a comment down there, and let a guy know what's going on. So thank you for watching Overland Garage.